Hey everybody, this is Dan Phelps with Learning to Smoke, and today I'm teaming up with the folks at Cowboy Charcoal to bring you caramel apple empanadas. So what we're gonna do here is make this on the grill, so it's gonna be a little different than what you see with traditional empanadas. What we're gonna do is make an apple pie filling, and then we're gonna have our empanada dough, put it together, throw it on the grill, and cook it till done. So we'll walk through the process and show you how it's done. So what we'll do here is we'll start with the sugar. So we got a cup of sugar, and then we're gonna have 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. We're gonna throw that in together along with some cinnamon. We're gonna 3/4 of a teaspoon for that, 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And so we're gonna mix that up. I'm wearing these gloves here, so I'm just gonna use my fingers here and just mix that together. Bring that to the surface and mix it together so it gets all mixed. Now next what we're gonna do is we're gonna move over here to our apples. We have 7 cups of Honeycrisp apples that have been peeled, cored, sliced, and diced. And so we're gonna move that here into this Dutch oven. We're gonna pour those in. Then next we're gonna take our dry ingredients, pour that all on here. Take our spatula and then we're gonna mix it all around in here. And as we're mixing it up here, you're seeing that the dry ingredients are mixing in with the apples, and the moisture's coming to the surface on these here, so you can tell it's mixing really well. And now we are ready to throw this on the grill, but first, we're gonna make sure we put those coals in. So now we are switching here to high temp gloves. So I handle this charcoal chimney. I'm gonna pour these in. There we go. All right, so for the grill here, what we're using is 100% natural hardwood briquettes by Cowboy. And so we got this up to about 400 degrees. Put this on the grill, indirect heat. My coals are over here, so I'm gonna put the apple mixture here, close the lid, check on it about 20-25 minutes. All right, so these apples have been cooking on here for about 20-25 minutes. We're gonna give them a look. We're gonna pull them off and set them on the table, but what I'll do here is I'll just pull off one of my gloves, use that as a place to rest this. So we'll set that right there. And then next, what we're gonna do is come over here and take this vegetable oil, pour it to the cast iron skillet. So usually on a 12-inch skillet, I do about 2 quarts. And now we're gonna move that over here. So we got this grill. The grill temp now is about 350 degrees, which is exactly where I want it. And I'm gonna put it over on this side where the coals are, direct heat. Close that down. All right, so next, what we're gonna do here is take our empanada dough that's been pre-made, but before we do, we're gonna sprinkle some flour here on the cutting board. We do that to make sure the dough doesn't stick. So now we'll unwrap this. Now what I'm gonna do here, especially with the size of the cutting board, is I'm gonna split this in half. So I'll work on one half now and do the other half here in a little bit. So with the dough, what I like to do, usually to start out, I like to just stretch it out almost like it's pizza dough. Or stretch it out like that, and then throw it on here. In fact, I'll put a little flour on that side. Okay, now I'm gonna use my roller pin, get a flat, even surface. Like that, and then I'll also go over this way. So we'll work with this. Now, normally, you'll wanna get a cookie cutter, about 4.5 inches. For the size of your empanadas. I didn't have one of those on hand, so what I'm doing here is taking this dish, which is about 4 inches. So I'm gonna cut some dough that way. So if you're wondering about the thickness of this empanada dough here that I've rolled out, we're looking at about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. And when you cut, try to cut as close as you can. Don't waste too much space in between. So out of this dough, you usually get about 12 to 15 circles here out of these empanada dough. So now for the next step in the process here, we are going to bring in our apple pie filling. I'm gonna bring over this bowl. You may have noticed this little bowl of water sitting here. Now what I like to do is I'll take the empanada dough, lay it like that, and then when I spoon in my apple pie filling, like this, I like to get the edges wet. And the reason for that is to help it stick when you fold it over. I'm gonna drizzle on some caramel like that. So I like to stretch out the dough just a little bit as I fold it over. Okay, so you could take a fork and clamp that down. That's an easy way to do it. That's just fine. but I am going to just pinch and flip like this. And it looks just like that. There we are. So we have 10 of these made, and we'll start to drop them into the oil here. This is a big enough cast iron skillet here that I can drop in a bunch at once. You want to make sure you don't really want them touching, at least for the first little bit. Okay, can I squeeze in one more? You know what, I think I can. I'll drop that one in right there. Awesome. So I let these cook for about 5 minutes, and I make sure I flip them over once. This has been Dan Phelps with Learn to Smoke, teaming up with Cowboy Charcoal to bring you these caramel apple empanadas. Thanks for following along, and keep cooking with Cowboy. Oh my goodness. Take like 3 of these. Bye.